how do we go about this? I work for you guys. I don't work for Fnatic. I don't work for any other company. I work for you guys. And I want to be straightforward and transparent with you guys. And the way Fnatic went about this Bolt review process, not just with me, because these emails I'm about to read you guys state that this is a blanket email sent out to all reviewers. And I'm sorry. I don't like how it was handled. So I have about 3 emails here that I'm gonna read you bits and pieces out right here, and we're gonna cover it. But the number one thing I don't like about how this was handled, and we've seen this from other companies, so we're gonna take this part with a grain of salt, right? They have released their pre-orders and any announcements with this before reviews go live. Why is that? Why do companies do that? Well, they don't want people like me and him and her and whatever trash talking it and people not even putting in a pre-order. I personally don't like that. Not that I didn't get my hands on it beforehand, but yo, let's share it with these consumers before they go on and place their order. But what we're doing here is locking in these orders before anyone talks about it. Diving into these emails. This is where it's gonna get juicy, guys, here, okay? So, again, this is an email to all reviewers, not just to me. Hello, the Bolt reviewers have finally arrived at their HQ today. This was kind of pushed back quite a bit. This was supposed to come out last year, right? So it was pushed back quite a bit. This is where it goes into after that. They are currently going through a basic inspection before being sent out to you. A basic inspection before they're sent out to reviewers. Every single product, the black and the white one I received, were double sealed on the bottom. Right? Which means they were open, the product was looked at, sealed back up, and sent to me. That's a dirty practice. You don't inspect a product for a reviewer so you know you have a solid product right here, and I'm gonna talk about a solid product. You send me a product that you're gonna get. The consumer, the person off the shelf or ordering online. That's the way I go about it. I don't wanna review some inspected top tier quality product. I want that product that someone is gonna buy. It says, important note, for transparency, there is a chance of there being an exclusive review going out 3 days before the embargo date. Why they're telling us this here is so we don't post on that date as well. Why is there gonna be a review 3 days before the embargo date? Well, it's not a stinking review then. It's something you guys have actually reviewed yourself, that video, approved, and said, okay, we can post. So that's a commercial, that's an ad, that's not a review. So if you watch that, take it with a grain of salt. That is an ad. So after those emails, again, guys, I'm not trying to bash Fnatic or hate on them here or anything. What I'm going for is transparency. I wish companies never did that stuff. Me as a viewer, I can't stand watching videos that are surrounded around that stuff because I can see them. I'm sure you can see them, right? Again, I'm with you guys. I don't jump on company hype just because they send me free stuff. I love Fnatic. Spoiler alert. I love this mouse, but I had to share that stuff with you. And there's a little bit of other tidbits in there as well that I can share with you when we start talking about these mice. So anyways, let's go on and kick it off with the specs and the dimensions of both of these mice right here. So you're looking at them, really nice specs, right? 3370, Kill, 8.0s and everything, PTFE feet. The shape is the one thing you might be questioning. Is this medium? Is this small? And when I put my hand on it, just so you can see right out the gate, I would put it as a schmedium. What the heck is a schmedium? I wouldn't class it as small, and I don't think I would class it as medium. I'm gonna put it right on that line going into small right there, hence being schmedium. It does not fill out my hand, but it does have a nice plump hump right back here. I'm not sure if you can see it better on the white one right there, but as you see, it has a nice hump and then it kind of falls off back there. Now, when you look at it this way, it's a little bit thin and flares out towards the back end. So when it sits in your hand, yeah, it is touching me in the back of my hand, if you can see right here. Really nice, but it is, for me, feels a slight bit thin. Again, this is just for my hand shape. That'll be different for everybody. When you put it in your hand, you can pull it back and lock it quite a bit right there. But again, with the combination of that still being thin, I feel my hand kind of closing up on it when I try to lock it in. Now, of course, me talking about a whole bunch might make no sense to you, so I'm gonna pull out a couple mice here and hopefully give you a better idea of what this shape is. Let me start off with this, what do we call this? The final mouse? I don't even know the name. And I know not many of us have used this before, so I'm gonna have some other ones as well. But it feels very, very similar to the final mouse, right? Especially the grip width to a T. I would say the Fnatic Bolt has a little bit more of a hump, and you can pretty much clearly see it right there. It's just a slightly bigger hump. But as far as in the hand, 1-to-1, Yo, to a T. Again, the Fnatic just has a slightly bigger hump. Next up is the Cooler Master MM711 right here. This feels so similar. Again, the grip width is a little bit, just a pinch, I'm talking an absolute smidge wider on the Cooler Master over here. But when I put it in my hand, it feels like I would call it a plump Bolt. Not necessarily bigger, but plumper. But if you've used the Cooler Master and you've liked the Cooler Master, I really think you're gonna have a good time with the Bolt. And that's kind of how you can put it right here, right? If you take these two mice and just kind of mold them together, I feel like you're gonna get the Bolt. Now, if you're thinking, hey, that might be a smidge too small for me, I got a really cool product coming up. The new Ponage Ultra Custom video will be coming up here shortly. And it honestly feels like the Bolt just kind of stretched out just a pinch. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for this one coming up soon. Now let's go ahead and talk about the weight right here. And they're stating the white one weighs a little bit more than the black one due to the coating on it. So let's go ahead and weigh the black one here first. Hopefully you guys can see that in camera. 68.2 grams. Oh, 68.2. Yeah, bouncing around to 3. All right, let's get that off right there. We're gonna get 69.2. So again, a minimal difference. It's cool that they called it out right there, but again, in the hand, yo, you cannot tell a difference at all. They both feel the exact same. Now, talking about feeling the exact same, let me tell you what, guys, the button placement is fantastic. When you put your hand on this, bam, the side buttons are right there. They stick out a nice amount so you can really decipher them. A perfect gap in the side. Yo, they are fantastic. Now, as far as the sound test, really nice as well. I haven't called out, but that scroll wheel is really nice and recessed. It pretty much just floats over right there, so you don't got to really lift your finger up. Bam, right there. Your DPI button is nice and recessed as well, so no accidental presses. And then on the bottom, you have your Bluetooth and then your 2.4 switch. Now, as we just looked at the buttons on the black one right there, my white one does have 1 and 2, just very slight wobble. You can see it moving right there. I'm not really forcing it. Again, it's minimal, guys, but when I was playing, yes, I did feel it, and it got a little bit annoying, and I went to the black one. Now, Fnatic, in the emails, they also asked us, hey, if you got any issues with your mice, let us know. And I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. Let me let you guys know, hey, maybe you can, build on it after that. But I'm still gonna review the product I have, which is what we're doing here, right? And I told them, I said, hey, I got that slight wobble right there. They asked, yada, yada. I said, no, just a smidge right there. The black one doesn't have it at all. The white one has it. And they were like, oh, that's acceptable. That's okay. There might be slight variances within the mice. So again, you might get this one with slight wobble, yet my black one is absolutely solid. They're saying it's acceptable. I don't know. I'd like to hear what you got down in the comments. Now, as far as the build of both of these mice, well, again, my black copy is rock solid, no creaking, no rattling, no nothing. Coming over to my white one, I have a very slight rattle, and again, I think that's just from that loose 1 and 2 up there. Again, I stated before, my black one's rock solid, my white one feels a little faulty. Again, as far as give on the mouse, very slight on the side, but it's nothing that you notice whenever you're playing. You don't even feel it actuate the buttons. On the bottom, we do have a little bit of flex, and when we take our gauge, it's like right there, right at 2 pounds of force. I see it start flexing on the bottom. But I really don't think any of the flex points on this are gonna affect you in game as well. Because again, whenever I've played with this, tons of Halo or whatever, I didn't notice it well and it doesn't bother me. I'm one that really notices flex, and it kind of really jacks with my head if I feel my mouse giving a little bit. And again, the little bit of flex on this mouse didn't bother me one bit, so it's very minute. Now, the Fnatic Bolt is gonna be coming in at 80 bucks right there. And with the combination of the specs and everything about it, I love it at that $80 price range, having Bluetooth and 2.4 and yada yada. I wanna say a great build, because again, my black one is fantastic, but my white one's not. I guess it's gonna matter what you get right there. If they make a medium to large version of this, yo, I'd be all over it. This is too small, but that's just for me. Size is personal preference, you know what I mean? And other than that, guys, kind of going about this review, I just really don't like how Fnatic went about this. I wanna hear your thoughts down below. As a consumer to consumer, like, I don't think you guys should be treated with this kind of marketing. I think it's dirty. Fnatic, I'm sure you've watched my video. I'm not bashing, I'm not hating. Just don't do this kind of marketing, guys. Please don't. You make awesome products. Just stick with that.